Hey, Ethan, we are hanging out with From Ashes to New at Rocklahoma. Gentlemen, what's up? We've got Danny and Matt with us. How was the set earlier, other than hot?
Dusty.
Dusty, yeah.
Okay, so we got two of the...
Slightly erotic.
Just slightly?
Slightly.
Just a little?
It's just enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was great, man.
What set did you have? You and I had different sets.
Were you guys on the same stage, same time?
Yeah,
no?
I don't know what was going on with this guy, but...
First thing, I want to ask you about your the cool getup that you wear on stage, like the the vibration like vest thing.
The haptic vest, yeah.
That's so cool. Tell me a little bit about that and why you wear that while you're performing.
Yeah, so I was looking for a vest that kind of had a cool, different look, just because I wanted to wear something with like a sleeveless hoodie.
Yeah.
Kind of have like a vest hood look, and couldn't find anything, man. I was looking and looking and looking for months, and I finally had some ad pop up for like VR gaming. It's like a haptic vest. I was like, that is exactly what I want. I was like, that would be cool, and I wonder if I could make it respond to like the music that we have in our ears to keep us on track. You know, we have like a click, we have backing tracks and stuff like that that go through our ears so we can, you know, hear everything. So I ordered it, got it, and sure enough, like I could use an audio splitter and I could program it to only respond to bass. And so whatever I'm hearing in my ears, it responds to the low end, like the sub bass drops and like the kicks, and it pulses all over the body. And that's just an experience you can't get unless you're standing in front of like two feet away from like a sub.
Right.
You know, so that was just like add another dimension to the set and like really immerse myself into the music.
And what ended up happening is the idea of it, he recorded it, which you probably saw, and it went viral on multiple different channels. So Danny did what Danny always does. When things become cool, he stops doing them.
I'm a rebel, baby.
So it went viral, and now Danny doesn't wear the vest anymore.
You should. That should be a new merch item. You guys should sell those. The vest
that would be
Danny used to wear.
Wildly expensive.
Yeah, it was like a $500 vest alone. So
you'd get a few people that would buy them. Just make
Probably,
3 limited edition. You know.
Yeah.
Sell yours. You're not wearing it anymore.
There you go.
Maybe.
Well, hey, the new record Blackout's been out for a few weeks now. I was reading it's kind of like a prequel to Day One, a little bit, kind of a concept album. Tell me where that idea came from.
Well, I mean, Day One was what a lot of people found us by, right?
Yep.
You know, like that style and that vibe and just the heaviness and the angst and the grit. So we wanted to, you know, looking at our discography, we wanted to go back to that sound. Like, okay, where did people, you know, the OG fans, where did they originally fall in love with this band and why? So we wanted to be the best possible versions of what this band was conceived to be. And as we were doing that, and the song names and the lyrics, and like we were like, oh, we got to go back to the original art direction and have all this stuff involved. We were like, hold on a second, like this is like leading up to what the band is or what we had already done. So we decided to turn it into a prequel. Originally it was supposed to be called Armageddon, which is a track on the album.
Yeah.
And then just kind of mulling over that idea for a while, I was like, kind of Blackout sounds like way cooler than Armageddon. Armageddon just sounds like it's been done so much.
Right.
So we're like, you know, we put together the idea with Blackout, like what happens before Day One. Day One is after the destruction. It's a new day. Well, that destruction was there. What happened before that? Well, the blackout happened before the destruction. So maybe the next record is about the apocalypse. Who knows? We'll
there
see.
you go. You got a plethora of ideas.
We do.
Specifically, let's chat Monster and Me. That music video is intense and it's insane. I love this style.
It was actually in a building.
It was actually in a building? I assume that you filmed it like outside.
What joke are you trying to
He said it was intense.
Shut up.
I'm just going to walk away now. It's not going to get any better.
Bro, that's it. I just ruined the whole interview, man.
Dude, it's done.
Yeah, it was actually in a canopy.
Yeah. Believe it or not, it wasn't a tent.
It's an RV.
Yeah.
It's an RV done in VIP camping back here.
It was actually done in a warehouse.
Yeah.
Which is something you don't want to do as a band anymore. But we got there.
Typical warehouse video.
Flew in and they had the whole thing built.
Yeah.
And we really haven't done like music videos to that size and caliber. This is like the first time we've done something to that big of a budget.
Yeah.
And when we walked in, we were like, all right, we see how this is going.
Right.
And it actually came out later than it was supposed to because we really paid so much attention to the VFX and the way that, you know, the video was put together.
I love the walls bleeding. That was probably my favorite part of the whole thing. I loved that. Was that your idea?
Yeah, that was something that it wasn't in the original treatment to the video.
You really had to push for it.
Yeah. Like there was certain things that like, you know, didn't exist. Like if you look at the shot where like I'm in the mirror and you can see like my eyes are all blacked out and like, you know, there's like veins popping out of my face. Those things weren't in the original video idea.
Okay.
So like when we got the original cutback, I'm like, dude, like we need more. Like, you know, black liquid on the floor coming out of the walls,
Right.
like, you know, all this like spooky stuff I thought was like really
Yeah.
cool. Like to bring out the idea of like, you know, the monster that lives inside you.
Absolutely. You guys just hopped off tour with Motionless in White in this moment. Any plans for headlining tours coming up next year? You guys already looking at 2024?
This year ain't over yet, bro.
Okay. All right.
I say I'll leave it at that. This year ain't
All right.
over yet.
There you go.
We shall see.
Yeah.
We shall see.
Well,
let's not forget Fit for a King. They were on that bill too. And
yes, those guys.
Those guys are killer.
Awesome
man.
dudes.
They rip, dude. Seeing Ryan out there do Slaughterhouse with Chris
Yeah, it
every
was sick.
night.
It was sick.
It's badass. One thing that you guys did that was really cool on that tour that also went viral, you guys have had a habit of doing that recently, was giving the guitars out every once in a while.
That's something we've always dreamed of doing. Like
It was so
That
cool.
is like the peak of being a musician, is being able to give an instrument away to a kid, because that's where we all were at one point.
Yeah.
You know, dreaming of being on a stage and like just starting out with a janky little guitar or a $50 drum set.
Right.
You know, that's where I started at least, and like I think a lot of kids dream of that, and that's been our dream too. Be able to reciprocate that and do that on the other side of it. You know, so it was really awesome.
I mean, we're here because of the fans.
Yeah.
Right? Like without us or without the fans, we don't exist, right? So like we're going to give back as much as we can. And as you're building this type of thing, there's not very many opportunities to give back, right? You got to kind of pinch your pennies, save, do what you got to do. We're getting to the point where we can start giving back. Like,
Right.
and I'm one of those guys, like I go to the grocery store and it says donate to charity. Yes, every single time, donate to charity. And like, you know, you can only use so much of it, right? And like there's a lot of other people out there that could use that and could inspire someone. And that was the idea behind the guitar, is like, hey, like we could inspire someone to be the next person to be up on that stage, you know, on tour with us, doing something dope with us. So, and just to set the record straight with that whole thing, because there's a lot of people in the comments, like you said, it went viral.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people in the comments on that video who were like, you went to Dave and Buster's with him and played video games all day long and you didn't know his name. He wasn't the only one at Dave and Buster's, and no, we didn't get a chance to do it. Like we just played games and hung out. Like we didn't ask his name. So like when I went out there into the crowd, I was like, oh, that's right, I don't know his name. So I asked him his name, and so just to set those comments straight, like no, I didn't know his name.
Yeah,
So.
that was for the crowd too. Like we wanted to be like, hey, dude, like, what's
Right.
your name? Like, everybody give it up for JJ.
Right, yeah,
You know?
giving the recognition in front of everybody. Yeah, that's awesome. One thing I wanted to ask you guys about is Linkin Park. Obviously, there's a little bit of influence in your guys' music, bringing the hip-hop into the rock together.
Never heard of them.
Yeah, no, who are they? But they dropped Lost earlier this year, which kind of blew up. Did you guys have any sort of like emotional reaction hearing Chester's vocals again on a song like that?
It was really cool to hear a song that was a demo from that era come out today. It was awesome.
It just made you remember how great he was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you listen to it and go, oh yeah, I get it. That's why this guy was where he was, is because he's just a raw talent.
Yeah.
That, you know, comes one in a million, man. Probably one in 10 million. you
Yeah.
know, So
I tell everybody this. My worst day at work was the day that he passed away, and I had to go on the air and put the tribute together and
Yeah,
all of
that's
that
tough,
stuff.
dude.
Yeah,
That's
that's
it
tough.
was like
That's tough.
It's like that's the worst thing. And then just hearing that was just it was insane because it sounded like it was recorded yesterday.
Yeah.
You know, it was beautiful. But last thing before I let you go, I want to know any more Christmas music coming down. You guys did All I Want for Christmas. Any
Hey,
chance
I
we get
don't-
like an EP or an album or
We
something?
did it just to see, like just to try it out and see how it would turn out. We like the way it turned out. I don't know that we'll like do that anymore. We don't want to really like become like a Christmas cover band.
So in reality, what happened was I had actually booked some studio time to do some side project rap stuff, and I'm not going to get into why I didn't do that, except for I was told that I wasn't allowed. So we'll just leave it at that. So we didn't do that, and it was already booked and paid for.
Okay.
So I hit these guys up. I'm like, yo, we got this studio time. We're rolling into fall right now. Do you guys just want to cut a Christmas track? Like, so we went on, and we leave a lot of what we do up to our fans. Like, we post a lot and ask our fans questions. And
Oh, yeah.
So we were like, hey, what Christmas song would you guys want to hear us do? And most of them said, don't do All I Want for Christmas Is You. Like, they were like, out of all the songs, don't do that. We're like, all right,
That's the one we're
that's
doing.
the one we're doing. Yeah.
The one time you do the opposite of what the fans ask for.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we had to troll them with a Christmas song.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know, if we were doing a Christmas song, it had to be a troll move for sure.
Absolutely. Well, hey, thanks guys for hanging out. The set was great earlier, and can't wait to see whatever the plans are for the rest of the year since it's not over yet. Wink,
Keep
wink.
an eye out because it's on its way.
There we go. Perfect. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.